Okay, we are in the second English class at Atos da Justiça on January the 24th, 2019. We're in intermediate English class. Open up the file. Let's review from last week and then also talk about this week's lesson. While we're doing that, let's pray and ask God's help for our class. Would you like to pray? Okay.
God, in Jesus' name, thank you for all you have done for us.
Yes, Lord.
And we need your presence here, Lord. And teach us with everything, God. Thank you for all. Amen.
Amen. Glória a Deus. All right. Intermediate lesson 1. Last week, we talked about 2 Timothy 2:15. Do you remember? Okay. Ecclesiastes 12:12. Well, the homework was to translate the vocabulary into Portuguese, to be able to try to define the words in English, and an extra, something that's helpful, but not specifically homework, but something to help you, was to look up synonyms of the words from the vocabulary. Did you look up any synonyms? Você procurou sinônimos? You did? Okay, very good. Very good. Let me get a new document here. This is class notes. Or this is the 5th group. Class notes for the 5th Turma. January the 24th, 2019. How many words were in the vocabulary from the verses? Do you remember? 27.
Wait a second.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, 27. Wait a second is very close. Both verses or just one verse? Both verses. Okay. 7 words. The number of perfection, completion, 7. Very cool. All right, what are the 7 words?
Study.
Study.
Approved.
Approved.
Ashamed.
Ashamed.
Ashamed. Divided. Wait,
need to spell ashamed correctly. I'm ashamed. I did not spell ashamed correctly.
Sorry.
No, it's my fault. Ashamed. Then you said divided. Divided. Admonished. Admonished.
Very difficult word.
Yeah, that is a difficult word. That's true. Admonished.
Weirdness.
How do you spell the word in English?
W-E-A-R-I.
Weariness. That, weariness.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Flesh.
Okay, não tem outras palavras? Only 7 words? Só 7?
Eu não sabia se eram todas as palavras, se era substantivo ou se era verbos.
Foi todas as palavras. Ok, mas esse foi... Por que você tirou esse 7? Why did you take out these 7 words?
Porque eu percebi que tinha sinônimo. Daí era mais facilmente, entendeu? De colocar uma outra palavra.
Ok, 7 words, easy for synonyms.
Yeah.
Ok. Did you look up the synonyms? Você procurou os sinônimos? Ok, good. What's a synonym of approved? Do you remember? Accepted. Oh, let's use accepted in a sentence. Vamos fazer uma frase. Let's formar uma frase. Accepted in a sentence. Vamos fazer.
I'm trying.
Okay.
The teacher approved. No.
Accepted. Não.
This one approved.
Vamos ver. The teacher approved
The student on the last test.
The teacher approved the student on the last test. Don't translate in English. What are you trying to say? The approval of the teacher was because of the student's grade or the behavior or the work that was done on the test? What are you trying to say?
O professor aprovou o teste do aluno, né?
Então, aprovou, approved, tipo passou, a pessoa, the teacher accepted. Okay. Let's see if we can change it to this. The teacher approved the student's test. Could you say it like that? That's what you're trying to say. Okay. Let's see if we can change or be approved or accepted. Accepted. Can you say the teacher accepted the student's test? Just because the teacher accepted doesn't mean that the person passed the test. Doesn't mean that it was approved. The idea that if you said the teacher approved the student's test, approved gives the idea that the test was good, was a passing grade. Tipo, foi 10, foi A, and A. But if you said the teacher accepted the student's test, tipo, the teacher recebeu or accepted. Você fez a prova, me dá. Not like pass. You passed the test. So it could be, it doesn't have to be that difference, but it could be if you use the word accepted in this context. One more synonym for approved. Okay, just one. All right, that's fine. So, the teacher accepted the student's test. That's true. The teacher, here teacher, take my test. I accept your test. But it doesn't mean that the student was approved. But it's a good sentence, and it's a true sentence. But it's not necessarily the same as the teacher approved. Check mark the student's test. Okay, let's see. What's one of the other words in the study? What's a synonym for study? Search. Okay. What's a sentence with the word study? Let's make a sentence with the word study. Vamos fazer uma frase with the word study.
Nessa eu usei o search.
Não.
É que eu fiz a frase, mas eu posso fazer uma outra, né?
Yeah, you can do another phrase. It's okay.
study. I study English every day.
That's good. I study English every day. Okay. If you trade search, if you put in search for study, you can't just put I search English every day. Or if you put I search for English every day, it's not necessarily the same thing as study.
Learn.
Or you could say I made a search of English every day. But learn. I learn English every day.
Eu coloquei outros exemplos também. To learn and memorize.
Memorize, good. Memorize.
Analyze.
Analyze, very good. Okay, you have analyze, memorize, learn, search for the word study. Oh, I learn. Oh, is it possible to learn something without studying? Or is it possible to learn something without studying it? It is possible. You're saying yes. Okay, it is possible. So, studying is the way you get to learning, but learning can come without you going on that path. If you're searching for something, you could say, I was searching for cantaloupe and I found out where they are at. I learned today where cantaloupe are at. It's the end of the process, right? Studying is just one way to get to learning. So if you wrote the same sentence, you couldn't necessarily even put learn in for study. In this case, I study English every day. I learn English every day. Okay? Almost the same thing. I memorize English every day. Memorization may be a part of your study, one way that you study. Analyze, I like analyze as a synonym in this sentence. I analyze English every day. Because if you're studying it, you're probably analyzing it in one way or another. Analyzing the sound, the way you say it, the spelling of the word, or looking to see if you can read it and understand the word. I think that's a good synonym in this sentence. I analyze English every day. But if you said that, it's like you're a computer programmer. You deal with information. Not like you're an English student that you can use conversational English. What's your job? What's your profession?
In English, wait a moment. Administration service.
Administration service. Okay, good. So if you said, I analyze English every day at my job. It's possible that it could have something to do with administration. But I wouldn't assume that at first. I would assume like computer programmer, something to do with technology. Something in that field, in just in my imagination, just what I would think of if I heard that. Okay, very cool. Let's continue on with this. Is this good? Is this helpful? É legal? Okay, good. Study, approved, ashamed. Sins. Synonym of ashamed?
Shy.
What?
Shy.
Shy. Okay. Shy. That, S-H-Y.
Fear.
Fear.
And paralyzed.
Paralyzed. P-A-R-Y. There's a Y in there. Okay. Shy, fear, and paralyzed. Let's not make a sentence with this. Explain what the difference between ashamed and being shy is.
Difference.
Mm-hmm.
Shy is personality.
Okay.
And shame is an action.
Okay. If you're ashamed, you probably will be shy. If you're shy, you don't have to be ashamed. You might be ashamed, but you don't have to be. Being shy is more of like your personality, your temperament, the way you interact with people. But being ashamed is an emotion, is a feeling about something, a sense of guilt, or the next word, fear. If I said, I'm afraid to go to war, I'm ashamed to go to war. Two totally different things. One is, oh, I might die, I don't want to do that. The other one is, I don't think war is good, or I won't do a good job, so I don't want to go. But if I made that sentence, ashamed and fear would not be able to be inserted in the same place. But if you are ashamed, you are likely fearful of something. If you're ashamed, you're fearful of people maybe finding out what happened, or what didn't happen, or how you reacted in that situation. But you could be fearful and not be ashamed. It's the same way with shy. Okay. What's this next word?
That's it.
Paralyzed. Paralyzed. You said paralyzed. A third synonym. It's not falou. Did you say paralyzed?
Paralyzed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What does paralyzed mean? Use that in a sentence. Somebody who can't do something is paralyzed, right? Oh, you can be paralyzed as a result of a physical problem, or you can be paralyzed from fear or paralyzed from shame. It's true. So it depends on what kind of way that you're talking about being paralyzed. Very interesting to compare those words. Okay, study, approved, ashamed, divided.
Share.
What?
Share.
Share.
And spread.
Spread. Okay. Use spread in a sentence. Spread.
Yeah, spread.
Use in a sentence. Não tem que definir. You don't need to define it. Just try to use it in a sentence.
Phrase.
Mm-hmm.
The press spread fake news.
Oh, President Trump and President Bolsonaro, I think, agree with your assessment of journalism today. The press spread the fake news, or fake news, or the fake news.
The fake news.
Okay. The press spreads the fake news, or the press spread the fake news. I'm not sure which is correct. I have to see which is correct, because if you say the press spreads the fake news, there's something about like I spread, you spread, they spread. I spreads would be incorrect. If I said I do not spread fake news. I think because press is a uncountable noun, right? Press. How many of there are there? Is it one press or two? One person can be the press, or 20 people, or 100 people, or all the press. So the journalists spread fake news. The press spreads fake news. Oh, why did you put the in front of fake news?
Não entendi.
Por que colocou the fake news e não colocou fake news?
Na verdade, eu não. Pra mim ficaria melhor sem o de, mas.
Oh, because in English, if you're talking about something specific, you would put the. The press spread fake news. If you said the press spread the fake news, or the fake news, it'd be good to finish what specific fake news you're talking about.
Fake news, né?
The press spread the fake news about the economy. Então, if you said the press spread fake news about the economy, it's okay too. But if you said the press spread the fake news about the economy, é uma fake news específico você está falando, entendeu? Uma história, it's one specific story or thread that you're talking about. It's not all fake news or not all incorrect news about a given subject. Okay. When I hear the word divided, I don't think of the word share, but it's true. If I have, and this is a true statement, I have Brazilian coffee and candy. I shared the Brazilian coffee candy with everyone who wanted it. I divided the candy between the people who wanted it, but divided almost is a negative thing, and share is a positive. But just by association, division, fragmentation, arguments, division, divide. But Jesus Christ, He came to divide. He divided. He came with a sword, and it was parents against children, brother against brother, people against other people. There was division because of Christ. It's very interesting, but I can see how share is a good word for divided if used like you're giving what you have to other people and not just using it for yourself. Not like Bolsonaro divides Brazil. He does, like if you said it that way, he doesn't share Brazil. He puts Brazil in at least two different groups, people that support him and that doesn't support him, for example. Okay. Any comments about divided? Algumas perguntas, outra questão, alguma coisa? Não? Admonished. Deixa eu mostrar isso para você, porque esse foi uma palavra difícil para você, não foi? Admonished. Oh, there's the site. How many syllables? divides up the person watching this video cannot see the part above the red box, but it's www.howmanysyllables.com. If we search this dictionary for admonished, 3 syllables. Here it breaks it down. Admonished. Ooh. Is it easier to understand when you see it broken down like that? AD bar MON bar ISHED. Admonished. Admonished. Good. Does that help? Esse ajuda você? Okay. I think it's very helpful. Anytime you have a word, you're not sure where you need to stress. Let me see if there's a word. Oh, sometimes this word is difficult for people to say. Different. Sometimes people say different, not different. Like library. It depends on the February. Sometimes people don't use the correct amount of syllables in the pronunciation, and that messes things up. Oh. Different. Oh. In this case, he said different or different. Sometimes it can be with 2 syllables. I've heard both ways. It's like there's a city, New Orleans, the Saints in the United States, the lost a controversial game against the Rams. The blues, jazz, Mardi Gras, which is the only place in the United States that I know of that is similar to Carnival here in Brazil, but it's not. It's like French. It's not anything like the extravaganza of the flesh. Here in Brazil is much worse. I used to say that in the United States, Carnival or Mardi Gras is like o creche. In Brazil, Carnival is like doutorado. No pecado, in sin. Yeah, mercy. Misericórdia, mercy. Or but some people, New Orleans. People can have a different pronunciation of words. Sometimes it can make it difficult to understand. New Orleans. All right. Weariness. Wait a minute. We didn't do the synonyms of admonished, did we? Admonished. I don't think so.
Advised.
Okay. Advised. Or admonished has the idea you're giving advice, but you're correcting someone. You're correcting behavior, you're correcting a thought. You're helping someone with what you're saying, but it's a little more stern. It's stronger than advised. Advised, you give your opinion, you give your counsel, maybe wise, but it doesn't have the same force as admonished does. What other synonyms? Okay. Let's look at the next word. It's almost 8:30. The class is flying. Class is flying by. Okay, weariness. What does weariness mean?
Similar, tired.
Tired. Or tired or tiredness. What's the difference between tired and tiredness? Okay. Let's not get into grammar so much. We'll deal with that. Use weary. Weary. The press brought weariness to the press brought weariness to the country. Tadinho as jornalistas. The press brought weariness to the country, or the country was weary of the press. You understand? You could weary, like the country was tired of the press. The country was weary of the press, but you wouldn't say the country was weariness of the press. The press brought weariness to the country. Another way of saying the same thing is the country was weary of the press. Okay, what's the next word?
Synonyms. Or next.
No, the next word. Flesh.
Flesh.
Okay. What's a word? Well, synonyms for flesh.
Body.
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 Body. Well, in what way can you use body? There's the human body. What other ways can you use body? There's at least two other ways I can think of now. There's a body of work and a body of water. The body of a human, you wouldn't say, you would say human body. But do you have an idea what is body of work, what that means? Body of work. Now, here you're using body as in the sense like your whole, if you're analyzing the whole totality of someone's work, for example, if you work in administration, the documents you filed, the things you said on the phone, the things you said to people, everything that you've done, the totality of your work. Body is like totality. A body of water is like a lake. Lake Michigan is the body of water. A certain part of water that only exists within that self. The Atlantic Ocean, a body of water. The Sea of Galilee, a body of water. Oh, Campo Grande doesn't have a Córrego no Ernesto Geyser. It's a body of water. What's the closest body of water to Campo Grande? Aquidauana, o Rio, the river.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, what's the river's name in Aquidauana? Você lembra? O nome do rio.
Acho que é Aquidauana mesmo, né?
Rio Paraná. I don't know. I'm just people invited to fish. That's all. Rio Aquidauana. Rio Aquidauana is a body of water. Okay, but flesh in the sense of human body, or there's other kinds of flesh. Besides human flesh, what other kinds of flesh are there?
I can't understand.
Okay, flesh is like the carne, right? So the meat of an animal, horse flesh, for example. O carne do cavalo, horse flesh. Normally, Americans do not eat horses. Franceses, they eat horses. Did you know that? And some people in Latin America eat horses. I don't know it's wrong. It's just for an American, it's like it's a majestic animal. It's like a friend, your helper. Why would you kill it and eat it? But if you needed to eat something and you needed meat and you had a horse to slaughter, I don't think anything's wrong with that. But it's not an animal typically bred for meat, for flesh. There's an expression in English like he's worth his weight in horse flesh, something like that. Ele tem valor do peso no carne do cavalo, because o cavalos foi o modo de transportação. Então foi uma coisa valorizada, more before than obviously they are now. Or also, flesh, as a definition, not as a synonym, can mean like the old man or the unsaved mentality. When I say the old man, não é homem velho, senhor. Eu estou falando do homem velho que está morando dentro de mim, que não está acabado ainda. O carne, the flesh, the old man. How do you say in Portuguese? Homem velho?
Velho homem.
Velho homem. Oh, the old man.
Homem do pecado.
Homem do pecado, flesh. No, I'm still battling between the Holy Spirit and the new man, and then the old man, which is also called the flesh. Okay, I think that's cool. That was only from what was the lesson? 2 Timothy 2:15, or no, Ecclesiastes. And much study is wearisome to the flesh. It was the second verse. Ecclesiastes 12:12. Okay, this is today's lesson. The homework was to look at the words and vocabulary from these two verses. I know you separated synonyms in the words you thought would have more synonyms, but do you know all the words from 2 Timothy 2:15 and Ecclesiastes 12:12? Você conhece o significado das palavras? Okay, good. Let's do this. This will be very helpful. I'll read the word in English. I want you to repeat the word and then say the translation in Portuguese of just the word. Okay?
All right.
Ready?
I'll try.
Okay. B.
Sim.
Okay, but repeat it in English. Repeat in English so the people in this video can hear your English. Diligent.
Be diligent. Diligent.
Good. In Portuguese?
Diligente.
Okay. 2. Two. It's easy.
Dois.
Oh, no. Para. Well, Tio, what's the difference between, how do you spell dois in English?
T. W. O.
TWO. Is there another word that also has that same sound? Tu, para, tu, dois. Is there another two? Também. How do you spell two também? Do you remember? Oh, T-O-O. Two, também, two, dois, and then two, para. Okay. Present.
Apresentar.
Good. Don't forget to say the English. Present.
Present.
Good. Yourself.
Você mesmo. Yourself.
Good. Say the Portuguese first. It's good. Approved.
Aprovado. Approved.
Good. God.
God. Deus.
That's okay. You know. Worker.
Worker, trabalhador.
Good. Who?
Quem? Who?
Does.
Does, auxiliar, né?
You could you, it doesn't have to be an auxiliary. It depends on the situation. Let me show you. Does he like eating fish? Yes, he does. Então não é, it's not an auxiliary verb. It's not helping another verb. Yes, he does. Sim, ele gosta. Ele gosta de peixe? Sim, ele gosta. Does he like fish? Yes, he does. So, or you could say yes, he does like fish. But if someone asks, do you? He does. She does. You don't necessarily have to repeat the sentence. You could repeat the sentence. Does he like fish? Yes, he does like fish. In that case, there you have like and does. You have two verbs. Okay, I think that's good. Not.
No. Not.
Need.
Precisar, preciso, né?
Okay, good. Two words that have the same sound for not and need that start with another letter. É uma homophone, é uma palavra que tem o mesmo som, soletrado diferente, mas outro not. Você conhece outro not? Começar com outra letra. It starts with another letter.
Palavra semelhante a need, é isso?
No, not. K-N-O-T, not. No. K-N-O-T, not. Same sound. Not. Now, I think also not, K-N-O-T is like nautical miles. Ou velocidade de barco, eles viajam, eles se mover, tipo, knots por hora. I'm not for sure.
Traduzido é nós, né? É isso?
I think so. K-N-N-E-D, need. Nah. There's an N-E-A-D. Oh, got it right. Ooh, that's difficult. Need.
What is it?
This is very funny. Because if you said, I need some dough. I need some dough. Dough is like the massa you use when you're making a cake or bread or some massa, dough. I need some dough. But need is the process you use when you're colocando mal na massa para deixa o ar entrar, deixa ele crescer antes de cortar para fazer a coisa que você está fazendo. Need. Como?
Sovar.
Sovar? Okay. But dough is also a slang for money. Did you know that? Dough. Dough, tipo lettuce, clams, dough, do-re-mi, money. I already said lettuce. Various words for money. There's many different words. Many different words.
Is that expression or?
People say, I need some dough. But if you said, I need some dough, like I need some money. I need some money. But here, it's so funny because dough, como fala, sovar? Like if you said, I need some dough. Você está fazendo a coisa com o pão, mas parece, se não está escrito, se só está falado, você está falando, eu preciso de dinheiro. Mas quando fala, I need some dough, or é verdade, fala, I am needing dough, or I needed dough. But someone could say that and it would be very funny. I need some dough. I think it's very funny. Okay. Ashamed. In English, what does that mean?
Ashamed. Fear about something.
Okay, could be. Ashamed. I didn't look this up. It's a sense of fear, guilt, and emotion that can change your thoughts, actions, or behavior or words. It alters, or it can alter your behavior based on the feelings that you have about that. Rightly.
Certamente.
Very good. Rightly.
Rightly.
Dividing.
Dividindo. Divide.
Good. In this context of the Bible, is that the way you would translate dividing? Because there's the way it's used in the verse, and then there's the definition of the word that may not be the exact same all the time, because words can be used differently. So, certamente dividindo a palavra, what does that mean? Você pega a Bíblia, rasga, ou pega uma parte e divide outra parte de uma maneira certa. What does that mean?
It's similar, share the word of God.
In this case, that makes sense, but no. In this case, it's like correctly studying God's word, correctly understanding. When you're
and spread, no?
No, because that's the same idea as share. Or when you're dividing the scriptures in this verse in 2 Timothy 2:15, you're correctly understanding the scriptures. You're not. It doesn't have anything to do with you evangelizing someone or you taking the Bible to give to someone. Corretamente compartilhando as Bíblias para as pessoas. Isso não. That's not the meaning of this verse. Okay. Word.
Palavra.
Good. Truth.
Verdade.
Very good. Okay. Do you know the meaning of these words in Portuguese? Yes, you do. I don't know if the viewer of this video does, but you do. Do you know any synonyms or antonyms of these words? Oh, you looked at synonyms. Did you find any antonyms?
What is it?
Antônimos. Synonymous, antônimos. Like truth would be lie. An antonym of truth would be a lie or a falsehood or fake news. Fake news. Okay. Good. When you do your homework, show your work. If I said show your work, what does that mean? Show your work.
See your job.
Mostrar teu trabalho. Mostrar seu trabalho. I want you to show me that you did the translation or that you've looked at the synonyms or that you can put these words into phrases. Okay. Here we have the group exercise. Read this part for me, please. This part here.
True. Worker. A good worker for a company's success is as important as the truth is to a judge in a trial for justice.
Okay. 3 words. Thank you. Truth, worker, A. Here in the phrase, you can see that a, worker, and then truth are in bold. So it can be a word that stands out. You can see that these words are being used. A good worker for a company's success is as important as the truth is to a judge in a trial for justice. Oh. If a judge is presiding over a trial and they're seeking justice, then what do they need? Se tem juiz, como fala trial? Trial, processo, tipo quando os advogados que está apoiando, que está contra, está em frente do juiz e está falando. O que é esse trial? O trial é todas as coisas envolvidas nesse assunto em frente do juiz. Trial.
Seria o processo, o caso?
O caso. Vamos falar o caso. Então, se o juiz está responsável por um caso, o fim é para achar justiça nesse caso. Então, qual elemento é importante para esse juiz? Yes, exactly, the truth. Então, I'm comparing the truth to a judge in a trial for justice is like a good worker. Para uma empresa ter sucesso, é muito importante que tenha um trabalhador bom. Mas, a good worker can mean a moral worker, good meaning moral or immoral, good, evil, a good worker, a moral worker, or it can mean a proficient worker, a worker that is talented, that is gifted. Good can mean many different things. So for a company to have success, it's important they have good workers. For a judge to have justice in a trial, it's important that he or she knows the truth. All right, Ecclesiastes 12:12. Please read the verse for us.
Ecclesiastes 12:12. And further, my son, be admonished by these, of making many books there is no end, and much study is wearisome to the flesh.
Good. Wearisome to the flesh. Okay, have all these words again. And further, my son, be admonished by these of making many books. There is no end, much study, wearisome to the flesh. Do you know the meaning of these words in Portuguese? Do you? Okay, good. Did you look at the synonyms or antonyms of these words? Okay, good. Now we have the test of Peppa Pig. Did you watch the Peppa Pig?
Yeah.
Okay. We have 10 minutes. It's funny. This episode of Peppa Pig is season 2, episode 1. The name of this part of the episode is called Bubbles because there are four cartoons on one episode. So this is called Bubbles. Were there any problem words that you had on this episode of Peppa?
Yes.
There were. Do you remember any?
One of the
Bucket.
spigot.
What?
Spigot.
Spigot. Spigot.
Spigot.
I think it's spigot.
Tornado.
Yes, spigot. Like a faucet, spigot. Ooh, how do you spell that? How do you spell spigot? No, that's not right. Como se letra spigot?
S-P-I-G-O-T.
Spigot. Oh. Looks like spigot. 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 It's very difficult. Oh, that might be the British spelling of that. I'm not sure if that's how that's spelled in English. Oh, I'll have to examine that word later. But I know what a spigot is. It's usually an outside faucet. It's not like the kitchen sink faucet, the bathroom faucet. Normally when you have a tornado faucet, you say where it's at, like the bathroom, kitchen, the laundry room, the place where you wash the clothes. Here in Brazil, it's outside normally, not a room. It's like a porch or outside behind the house. But a spigot is normally like the like a garden for a garden hose. It's at the front of the house or on the exterior of the house where you can access water, but it's not. In the case of Peppa, that's what it was. It was outside their house. So that makes sense. Bucket, spigot, what else?
Muddy puddles.
Mud puddles.
Muddy puddles.
Oh, mud puddles. Like that. Mud puddles or muddy puddles.
Muddy.
Muddy. Oh, muddy puddles. Okay, very good. Any other words? That's toward the end of the cartoon, so probably not.
Time.
What?
Time. Muito pequeno.
Tiny.
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 Or tiny bubbles, but the word was tiny. Oh, diminutivo, pequenininho, super pequenininho, tiny. Or like in the United States, someone looks at me, I'm not a small person. Someone say Tiny Tim, and there was a character in Charles Dickens' The Christmas Carol, one of the most famous stories at Christmas. It was a play, and the son of one of the characters in the film, his son was named Tim, and it was Tiny Tim. It was a young Tim. But people can call me Tiny Tim or call me Slim, like magrinho, because it's a joke. It's a stupid joke. It's a little funny, but tiny is like super little. When I was a kid, they had cars that were like the size of one digit on your finger. Mini cars. And they were very, very popular. Very, very popular. But tiny bubbles, like little bubbles. Small bubbles. Okay.
É comum usar esse.
Tiny is common. Bubbles, I don't know if that's a combination because it depends on if you play with bubbles. But tiny is a totally common word. People will understand that and know that. Small, little, tiny, diminutive. That's it. Tiny would be a good word for you to look up the synonyms on. Ou procurar os sinônimos do tiny. Okay, any other problem words? Okay, new words that you learned are the problem words. As palavras novas você aprendeu esses aí, não é? Ou você aprendeu os outros? Okay, good.
E as outras também que o senhor tinha passado. Grunt, snore, gurgle.
Okay, so there was a lot of vocabulary in this small cartoon that you did not know. But when you watched the cartoon, you were able to understand these words. Okay, very good. Any expressions that you remember? Oh, I don't think I remember. I don't know if this was said, but my little piggies, my little dears, my sweet piggies. Oh, I don't think Papa Pig, Daddy Pig said that, but he said little piggies or piggies. Piggies são porquinhos. Então, little piggies é o porquinhos que você tem muito carinho. You have much affection, much love. If you said my little piggies, my little dears. Dears, D-E-A-R-S, is like someone that you you could call your wife dear, honey, darling, querido, querida, dear, querido, querida. But when you say little dear, my little dears, or it can be something like you're being very affectionate, you're being very loving, or if you said it sarcastically, oh, my little dears. Like if your children are teenagers and they're very disrespectful, you say, yeah, my little dears. You point to them and it's sarcastic. That might be some expressions you would use in a similar way that Daddy Pig used, but I don't think he used that exact expression. Okay, who do you remember from Peppa's family or friends? In this particular cartoon, Bubbles, there were no friends in the episode. There was only Peppa's family. Who is in Peppa's family in this cartoon? Do you remember?
Se eu me lembro de onde que eles...
Não, qual foi os membros da família da Peppa nesse desenho?
Ah, sim. Father, mother, brother.
Daddy Pig.
Pig.
I don't. Does she say Mommy Pig or Mama Pig? I think she says Mommy Pig.
Mom Pig.
Brother is George, right?
Yeah.
And then Peppa. Okay. Well, I think we need to stop now because it's 9 o'clock. It's 8:59. Oh, we'll continue the Peppa part from this. The homework that we need to give for next week's class. We need a verse. Oh, because this is lesson 2. We're going over the verses that we covered, the using phrases, and then the test from Peppa. Oh, you finished Peppa, but the other people haven't finished. Did you answer all these questions? Okay. So let's do homework. We need a Bible verse. What's a Bible verse that you like? That you read a lot?
What's qual?
É um versículo da Bíblia que você gosta.
Ah, eu vou escolher?
Aham. Vamos escolher agora, se tem como. Oh, if you can't, can you think of a verse?
Romanos 12:1.
Romans 12:1. Então, homework is Romans 12:1. Take out all the words. And look at the synonyms and antonyms. Know the meaning in Portuguese. And work on let's see, Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, by the mercies of misericórdias de Deus, apresentar your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Romanos 12:1, eu acho.
Nossa, em inglês trava, né?
Aham.
Sou acostumado.
Okay. Second, Romans 12:1 is that I'm almost positive. I beseech you there, I beg you, by the mercies of God, to present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Romans 12:1. Take out all the different words, vocabulary, work, like you did with 2 Timothy 2:15 and the verse in Ecclesiastes. And two or three different translations. It could be King James, NIV, American Standard, Amplified, New King James. Pick out 2 or 3 different translations and look at Romans 12:1 in English and that. And then 2, because you already finished the pepper test on bubbles, watch in Portuguese and then English with closed captioned, and then just in English, the second cartoon in episode 1. I don't know if it's Emily Elephant or it's Emily Elephant. Okay, I have the test. In the class, if we can get past all this with the other people next week, I'll ask the questions to the test in the class. I will not send you the test for you to study, okay? Eu já fiz o provo para esse desenho, o segundo desenho da Peppa. Então assisti em Portuguese, English, closed caption, and do...
No meu Netflix não tem como assistir em português, a legenda em português.
Well, there's no subtitles in
Nem
Portuguese.
inglês, só deu para esse close
Yeah, well, because it's for hearing impaired. Why? Because children normally don't read. And so they don't put the subtitles for the kids to read because normally they don't read. But a child that's deaf needs to have the words so they can see, because there's no one signing in the little corner during Peppa saying what's going on. But maybe one day there'll be that. Understand? Okay, it's 9:04. Thank you very much. Have a good night. This is ending our class for January the 24th, 2019, the class number 5 at Ministério Atos da Justiça. Thank you very much.